Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear all students. This is lecture number 12 about the microtome and its types. In this lecture, the outlines include about the introduction of microtome, what is microtome and what is microtomy, then the different types of microtomes, how these types are used and how tissue is processed with these microtomes, and in the last the advantages and disadvantages of using the different types of microtome. When the tissue is embedded and the block is prepared, the next time after the tissue embedding is the microtomy. Microtomy is basically a Greek language which means small, and temnen means to cut. So microtomy is the cutting of thin sections of a tissue. So it is necessary to have thin sections of the tissue by microtomy for successful microscopic and for good microscopic examination and for the good diagnosis of the disease. The different types of microtome, it is the instrument which is used to cut the thin section from the embedded tissue in the paraffin block. Different types of microtomes include the rotary microtome, rocking microtome, base sledge microtome, sliding microtome, cryo microtome, and the ultra microtome. The last one is laser microtome. Now the different types of microtomes, the first one of them is the rotary microtome. It is the most commonly used microtome in the routine histopathological laboratory and used throughout the world. In this type of microtome, the position of the blade is horizontal and the block containing the tissue, this moves up and down with the help of rotary microtome. So the blade is in fx position and the blocks are movable. This microtome also contains a handle which rotates at 360 degrees centigrade. With the help of this handle rotation, the blocks moves up and down and the tissue is then cut into thin slices and thin ribbon. The semi-automated or the fully automated rotary microtomes are available, and the adjustment and control of the movement of the block and with the angle of the knife. So here we can see in this picture that this is the sample holder and the sample, and the blade is fixed in a horizontal position. So when this sample holder moves down, then a thin section of the tissue is cut with the help of this blade. Then the holders move up and also the specimen containing the holder that also moves up. Then we can see here that the section is separated and thin ribbon is formed with the help of this rotary microtome. So Through this way, we can get different slices, different sections of a tissue with the help of microtomy. This is a semi-automated rotary microtome. The graphical diagram here we can see this is the specimen holder, and here a block containing the specimen is fixed. Here it is a knife, and if we zoom through this area, then the block containing the specimen, this is a knife, and this is the specimen, the ribbon and thin sections are prepared. A ribbon of continuous sections are taken with the help of microscopic slide. This is the area. Here it is a block holder which containing the block. This is the blade for cutting of the thin sections, and here is the stage to get the ribbon of the tissues. This is the display from where the automated microtome setting is adjusted according to the size of the ribbon which is required. The advantages of rotary microtome is good quality 2 to 3 micrometer thin sections are possible with the help of this rotary microtome. Heavy and stable automated rotary microtome reduces health hazard and give the best quality sections, and a rotary microtome is good for production of the tissue ribbon, and this is used for easy to cut the various type of tissue, the firm tissue, fragile tissue, small biopsy, large biopsy or other related types of biopsy. So, this semi-automated rotary microtome is used to cut various types. The disadvantages of rotary microtome is it is an expensive product, and this rotary microtome is unsuitable to cut large blocks which containing very large specimen. The knife faces upward, so it may be dangerous to the staff which is working with this machine. So, these are the advantages and disadvantages of microtome. The next one is the rocking microtome. It is also known as the Cambridge rocking microtome. This term rocking is used as there is a rocking action of the microtome like an arm movement, and the knife in this microtome is fixed, static, and just like the previous rotary microtome, the block of the tissues that moves in a rocking motion, in an arc like movement of the block. This is the oldest designs of the microtome, and this microtome can cut thin sections with ribbons as ideal for serial sectioning. This is the picture of the rotary microtome. This is the arm and it moves upward and downward. Here the tissue is fixed in this area and it can containing the blade. So, this arm move in a rocking motion and then a serial section, a ribbon is formed in this way. This microtome is produce a slightly curved section because of the rocking movement of the arm, and it is nowadays very less commonly used in the labs. May be used for certain research purposes or in very old labs. The advantages of this rocking microtome is that thin sections can be prepared with the help of this rocking microtome, and this microtome is very easy to operate. The third advantage of the rocking microtome is that it is a reliable. We can diagnose and we can give report after making a tissue section with this microtome, and this is a cheap instrument. The disadvantages of rocking microtome is that the tissue is slightly curved, so there may be certain spaces within the tissue, certain areas which are missed, or maybe their structures are slightly distorted. Therefore, the microtome does not provide a flat section, and when the microtome is working, so because of its light weight, a slight vibration may occur during working of the microtome, so it may cause disturbance in the ribbon producing processing or the sectioning process. So these are the two disadvantages of rocking microtome. The third type of microtome is the base sledge microtome. This is the microtome in which the block is fixed in a static position within a steel carriage within a block container, and the knife part of this machine, this slides in the forward and the backward direction over the top of the block. This type of microtome is best for a large tissue sample, or if the sample is hard, for example the bone, the cartilage. So this is used for hard and large tissues. And the base sledge microtome, it is used for a thicker tissue sections having size 10 micrometer or more than 10 micrometer. This is the picture of base sledge microtome. This is the sample holder in which the sample is placed. This is in a fixed position here, and this is the area of the blade which moves in forward and backward direction to cut the thin sections of the tissue. The base sledge microtome, the advantages include that it can be used for the hard tissues, and it can also be used for the larger tissue that can be cut, and it is the best microtome for ophthalmology or large neuropathology section, because the eye specimens, they are slightly harder. So therefore, these specimens can be easily cut with the help of this base sledge microtome. The disadvantages of base sledge microtome include that thin sections can be cut with very difficulty, or it is very difficult to get thin sections with the help of these slides, as the section size of this base sledge is 10 micrometer or more than 10 micrometer. And also, if we get a proper section, so the slides which are normally available at the market, they are insufficient to fix the tissue smear with the help of which is received and which are prepared with this base sledge microtome. And for these microtome, for the section which is prepared with these microtome, they need large slides. The next one is the sliding microtome. This is a microtome in which the knife is static and the block moves horizontally over it. Here we can see in this image that this is the block holder. Here the block is placed in it, and above this block the blade is present. The advantages of this sliding microtome that the large sections can be cut with the help of this microtome, and it is mainly used for the tissues which is embedded in celloidine, and the simpler design, and it can be easily maintained. The brain sections can be cut easily with the help of this type of microtome. The disadvantages of sliding microtome that the knife may glide in case of hard tissue and may jump over it, so which can harm the person working with this type of microtome, and the long knives are difficult to sharpen. So, these are the advantages and disadvantages of sliding microtome. The cryomicrotome, it is the next type of microtome which is used for cutting the tissue for frozen section, and the sample is made in a hard liquid nitrogen so that it get solidified and it freeze. Then these frozen samples are cut with the help of microtome in the chamber, and that chamber contains liquid nitrogen. The advantages of the cryomicrotome is it is used to get rapid sections for rapid diagnosis. This cryomicrotome is used to study nerve biopsy, and it is best used for the enzyme histochemistry. And the disadvantages of cryomicrotomes include that this machine needs continuous supervision to maintain the temperature of the liquid nitrogen, and when the tissue is processed in this cryomicrotome, then the freezing artifacts are often seen after preparation of the smear. This instrument is very expensive, and the fixed tissue is very difficult to cut with this cryomicrotome. So, these are the advantages and disadvantages of cryomicrotome. The ultramicrotome is the next type of microtome. This type of microtome is used to cut an ultra thin section, and these are prepared for the electron microscopy. Usually for the transmission electron microscopy, the sections which are prepared with this microtome having thickness around about 40 to 100 nanometer. In this type of microtome, the knife is made either from the glass or it is made either from the diamond, and in this microtome the tissue is first slightly trimmed to make a block of smaller sizes having 1 into 1 millimeter size. Then after preparing smaller block, thin sections is cut with this microtome with the help of an optical microscope. So, microscope is required if a person is working with this type of microtome, and then the cut section can float on the water, hauled by a boat, and then finally picked up by the metal grid. This is the working of this ultra microtome. Here the microscope which is attached with the ready-made and fully automated microtome, the ultra microtome. Here a small sections can be prepared. This is the working of the microtome. Here is a diamond knife, the sample is prepared to cut. So, first the diamond knife board here is present, and that is the ultra microtome, the front end, the sample holder in a position and the sample holder bottom position. Here the camera is present. So, when custom objective with turning prism is present here, this is the filter cube and here is the LED. So, we can see here this is the prism, the lens, the sample and the diamond knife. This is the imaging and this is the cutting of the slide. Here first the tissue is examined with the help of the microscope and then it is cut with the help of this microtome. So, this is the working of the ultra microtome. The next type of microtome is the laser microtome. This is the advanced type of microtome. In this type of microtome, the laser beam is used to cut thin section without any processing or without any embedding material within the tissue. The laser beam is present infrared laser with the ultra short pulse duration is applied. So, no heat is generated in this type of microtomy and the tissue is cut without any thermal effect. So, this is all about the microtome, its types, the uses, the advantages and disadvantages of the microtome. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, you can ask through question box. Assalamu alaikum.